Wikipedia defines branding as a name, term, design, symbol, or other feature that identifies one company's product or service versus another. Pretty important, right? In short, it's what people know you as, even if you're not there. They know your brand. Hopefully they know your brand. The term originally came from hot iron branding. And this is a small one, but we could stick this in a fire and turn around and just like you would on the cattle and brand the cattle. That's where that came from. Anybody want to be branded? Just checking. There are better ways to do it than that. And one of the easiest ways to do it is with a uniform. And you know, from the name of my business, Children's World Uniform Supply, you know that uniforms are very important to me. And I believe in them wholeheartedly. And you should too. Let me give you a couple reasons why. A lot of people think uniform has to be something like the lab coat or the polo shirt. Really, a uniform can be a lot of different things depending on what type of business you have. It could range from a running shirt, a t-shirt, any of these type of items, dress shirts, formal wear. It could be anything. But the uniform is important because in a survey of consumers, they found that you are trusted 60% more just by being in a uniform. So we could take two people, have the identical education, have the identical products, put them in a room, and the consumer is going to trust the person in a uniform 60% more just because they're in a uniform. How important is that to your business? Trust important? Well, think about this. I've been in stores and had this personally happen to me. I'll go after work, stop in another store. Of course, I have my uniform on. I'll have people walk up to me and say, hey, can you tell me about this? Or do you know where this is? And so on and so forth. And it's not that my logo says the name of their store. It's not that my shirt's even the right colors. But they see the uniform and they immediately associate, oh, I can trust this person. They know what they're talking about. And it's kind of interesting because I've actually been able to hand out business cards and say, well, I don't know if they have that here, but here, come see me. So, there's a whole other avenue to that. You can spend your afternoon in your competitors' places and such and hand out cards and take business. That's not what I'm here to advocate. With the uniform, though, a great example of this is one of our own. Dave Eschenbach has a fantastic uniform program. He starts at the top of his head with a logoed and branded hat. Below that, he's got his logo and branded polo shirt. He's got the name tag with, again, the logo on it and his name. And then, while he's talking to his customers, he has his logoed pen that he can write up his proposals and his receipts with. And as a leave behind, he's got a magnet that will be left behind for people to easily see his brand, contact him when they're ready. And then, even as he's working in a home or business, when the floor's wet, he puts down logoed mats that not only say, hey, slippery when wet, it's the brand again. Dave, tell us how the branding's worked out for you.
Well, it's everything for us. I mean, when people see the logo and they see what we are, they assume that we're a national company. Everybody, almost everyone says, well, you're a franchise, you're a national company. We're not. We're locally owned, and Greenway is right here in Sarasota. We developed the logo. But, when they see the uniform, it just sets us apart. The logo mats, if they see our logo by the time we get there, by the time we leave, between 10 and 12 times. Maybe 15 times in all the literature we have and all the things. They get a free pen, they get all these things. It means everything. It really sets you apart from Bubble. If you see me do Bubble, I mean, we're just light years apart, and that's how we get the big jobs in the Oaks, because we're set apart. They see us, we're professional, from the trucks all the way down to the uniforms and all the material that we give them. Really just makes a huge, huge difference.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave. And Dave mentioned this, that the typical customer puts his logo and his brand 10 to 12 times while he's there. The studies have also shown that for a good recall rate, customer needs to actually see something 8 times to be able to really recall it. So think about that. Dave's got that down. He's got people seeing his logo and his brand so many different times between the time that he comes out and writes an estimate to the time he's done with the job, 10, 12, maybe even more. And that's really what you want, because The business is nice in that case, but you want to build that brand so you get the referrals and you get the repeat business down the road. But it's not always about uniforms and things like that either. You can take just one small piece of that and take a pen. And I know everybody thinks, okay, hey, pens, no big deal. They all write, whatever. I can go on the internet and I get really cheap ones and whatever. But you know what? Sometimes pens are literally a life and death situation. And that is the case with David Payne. Think about this. People signing documents for him, it is life and death, right? You can't have a pen that doesn't work. You can't have one that smudges. You can't have those lefties that write over what they're writing and have that all smeared up like that. You can't have that because his documents are probably some of the most important that people will ever sign in their life, right? Well, we searched long and hard to find a pen that was absolutely perfect for that. And the pen not only works for those things, it has actually went beyond the four walls of his office. Dave, you want to share a little bit for us?
Yes, so I do have one of my pens right here, of course. And yeah, it's actually, it's fun every time we do signings, we have people use our pens to do the signing, because Tim actually helped us find pens that would actually have pigmented ink, they actually penetrate into the fibers of the paper, and I get to explain that to the clients, which they usually like. And then they keep the pen as a souvenir. But it's fun to see how far pens spread around. And one of my favorite stories is I was downtown getting a pizza a couple months ago, and I went in to write on my credit card slip, and lo and behold, the pizza restaurant, they handed me one of my pens inside of it. So you never know how far it goes. And I was at a men's conference here recently, and I noticed that one of the speakers actually had one of my pens in his pocket. So they work very well.
Nice. And that pen has actually been lovingly called the David Payne pen. That's not the name that's in the catalog, mind you, but in Sarasota, there's been many, many people who went after that pen. Just from what he's had, I've had other law offices call looking for that pen, and he's got many, many more stories of that, where that pen has showed up, because people get their hands on it and don't want to give it up. So we only have one today. I'll let you arm wrestle him for it afterwards. And then, of course, you want to be able to take your brand and get new customers with it too, right? And one of the best ways to do that is to use the appropriate type of promotional product that works with your brand and with the customers that you're trying to attract. And again, we have a person who's done this very, very well here. Jeff Van Beck is a big believer in taking promotional items and working on the Doc Holliday and getting them into people. You want to share a story with us?
Yep. I brought this truck, a whole armload of trucks, into a large trust bank in town here about 6 months ago. No, it's been longer than that. And I only did business with one of the 5 trust officers in there, but I came with an armload. I got to the secretary in the building, and she said, "Oh, have him come out." He came out, he looked at it. He thought these were so good. We went down the hall. He keyed me in through a security door. Now I'm with every trust officer in the building there. They took them, they were playing with them on the filing cabinets, and at this point in time, I have done business with all 5 of those trust officers because of this promotion product.
And again, the statistics that back that up, 83% of people remember who gave them a promotional product, and more importantly, 62% are more likely to do business with you. In this case, 100%. So, if you're looking to grow your business, it's a great way to do it. Lastly, I've got some items from Goodwill. Goodwill relies on donations to run their business. If you donate to them, they can make money. If you donate to somebody else, they don't. They understand branding. We've done banners, wall hangers, trophies, awards, promotional items, lapel pins, you name it, because they understand the brand. And just like that, I would be totally remiss if I didn't believe in this as well. Table over there, we've got magnetic signs, banners, flyers, you name it, custom packaging. Those are all things that I have done for my business to promote different parts of my business and to thank customers for doing business with me. So in the end, it's all about your brand and what you do with your brand. And I can help you build your brand and build your business. Thank you.
Sam, next time I'd appreciate it if you prepare a little bit more.